5 seconds. Probably now.
Okay.
Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 TSL. My name is Alan Cavanero. I'm alongside Nick. He's gonna need some tissues today. He's not feeling so well, so hopefully he'll get through this one. Hello everybody, welcome back to the Singapore Grand Prix. It's round number 14 for F1 TSL. A little bit of a delay for the podium tier, if you saw. Mainly because the PSN servers were down. Now we're blessed to have them back up for the race just in time today. And hopefully everyone will be able to set a lap. Because mainly, despite having a full grid for the podium tier, not many drivers were able to go out and set a lap. So, Nick, I know you're not feeling well, so it's kind of useless to ask you how you're doing, but just for the sake of it, how are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm looking forward to getting an early night tonight. After this one, hopefully a bit of rest and I'll be all sorted. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. And Singapore always been a classic here at F1 TS Hub, so looking forward to another exciting race. It rained earlier in the podium tier, so I wonder if we'll get to see any wet weather driving tonight, just to make it that little bit more tricky. But Alan, qualifying here, it's going to be one of the most important tracks to get a good grid position.
Yes, grid position will be crucial here. I mean, many drivers in the podium tier, I mean, the podium tier drivers didn't really enjoy this track for passing opportunities. There wasn't much to offer for this track. So I expect the same coming here for the Pinnacle tier, despite having a couple less drivers with 16. But mainly, I mean, there are a couple corners that you can pass at. I mean, not many. I don't expect turn one, because I mean, even if you pull off a dive bomb, the car on the outside is just going to run wide. He has to cut the corner. It'll probably pick up either a warning or a penalty. I am looking at some of these corners, maybe down the straight, maybe once towards the end of the first sector. Once you have that right little kink and then a little more of a straight, you can pull it to the left-hand side, maybe a dive bomb there. But other than that, I don't see many passing opportunities here. But the Singapore Grand Prix, it's always a good track. It looks beautiful at night, so I mean, the race is going to look nice. Hopefully the racing matches how this track looks at night, but we have 9.5 minutes remaining. A couple drivers out on the track. You have Inect, you have Luis, D90, Cliffy. I think, yeah, everyone is out except Jor. Everyone else is, yeah, everyone's out. So as we are about to begin the laps, as SBL Mali Kikik has left the session, do you have any predictions following last weekend's Grand Prix for the Pinnacle tier? The results stand as is. Let me pull up. Do you have any predictions for qualifying today?
Yeah, just too quickly, the reason Mali's left is because he's accidentally joined as a spectator rather than in his car. So he's not going to be able to take part in the session, so unlucky to him. He's joining again. I don't think it will let him. I think he has to now finish his race as a spectator, which is extremely unfortunate. A big welcome, of course. We got the new Renault driver, Wuma, I think is how we were going to pronounce it. His real name is Tom, so welcome to him. We've also got Kian, who joins us from the podium tier. He was scheduled to race in the podium tier tonight. He isn't a permanent driver for this Pinnacle tier, but he's definitely one of the front runners. He finished second behind MLA in a practice race yesterday, so he does have the pace to race with these guys, and he's just joining us for tonight because of the game wouldn't let him choose his car in the podium tier, and we felt under special circumstances we'd let him join the Pinnacle tier with Cloudy Balloons, who usually races in the other Williams, absent tonight. But yeah, sorry Alan, just to mention, as you were asking me, predictions is going to be a tough one. MLA looks quick around Singapore. He always has been a quick driver around this track, and he definitely looks like he's going to pose a threat tonight, but you just can't write off Bisas. You've also got Black Mamba, who's also quick. He's put in a 38.1 already. He's quick around here as well, so it's going to be interesting. You've got Louis, who's obviously been on pole a couple times in the front row, and he's doing well. So, Alan, I think it's going to be all up in the air, and we've got under 8 minutes to find out.
Yes, I'm really interested to see how things stack up as SBL Mali Kikik has joined once more. Probably a spectator again. Hopefully, I mean, SBL will probably join in, and then once we begin the race, we'll start 17th. Most likely, unless I don't see his name up this yet, he'll start 17th, unless he's a spectator throughout the race. But Sean has set a fastest lap time. Bisas is second, Luis is third, fourth is Black Mumbai, fifth is Woma, 6th is Kian, 7th is James Slater, 8th Lawrence, and 9th is Matt. in the Force Indy. Let me put on the leader detail. Look at the gap between BSAS and Sean. It is 1,000th of a second between that time. I mean, that'd be cool if that was the finishing result in qualifying, but I mean, those are the banker laps, and really, really close between the two. Do you think it'll stay close towards the end of qualifying?
I think it will. You don't forget, it's the longest amount of corners, I believe, on any track on this game. Cliffy just hit the wall in the last sector there. He's had to abandon this lap, so he's gonna come in for repairs and only get one crack at this. Currently in 13th place. His teammate Odem's missing the race tonight due to a controller issue. But yeah, what's such a small gap? And Alan, if you remember at Monza, we had some pretty close gaps as they crossed the line as well. And of course at Silverstone between these two. No, sorry, not Silverstone between these two, but Monza between these two. Sean just got him on the last corner, the last lap. He was going to get him on penalties anyway, but it didn't take away from the excitement. And yeah, it's amazing that they're so close with it being such a long track.
Yeah, I mean, this track is really long. Yeah, like we said, probably one of the biggest and longest races of the season, as Luis scores a time 6/10 ahead of Sean's time. My assumption is that wasn't a banker lap, and that was the one lap he was going for. It's on the Ultra Softs, and I do believe, I mean, I'm not sure if they'll improve after that. There's yellow in Sector 3. Two cars going side by side in the pits. That is Lawrence and Sean. They even out right before. And almost crashing into the pit wall is Beastaz. So those drivers will be excused. Let's talk about the points. We haven't talked about the points yet. And, well, I think it's really interesting. Last week, and like we said, it was a 1-2 Mercedes finish at the Italian Grand Prix. If you missed that, like we said, I think, Sean got into an incident, came back for second. MLA ended up winning. That's what I remember. And the gap has decreased for the points lead. And right now, the gap between Beastaz, the points leader, and MLA in second is 29 points. And I think from first to third is 92, if I'm correct. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I think it is.
It's definitely 29 between the top two, and they've been exchanging wins, and Beastaz has led, I believe, from the first race. I don't think MLA's led at any stage. If he has, it would have only been for a race or two. But yeah, Beastaz, as we always talk about him, he's doing his first season at F1 TSL. But look at Louis, 6/10 quicker than you know, the next car, and it's so close between Sean and Beastaz. And then you got Black Mamba in his second race at F1 TSL, Emily in fifth, Wuma in sixth position, 1.5 off the pace. So some bigger gaps as you get further down. 12 drivers to set a time, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 still yet to come out. Everyone on ultras, by the way, so everyone choosing the quickest tire for their qualifying session today, and we'll keep an eye and see what everyone does. We've under 4 minutes left to go.
Yeah, we have 4 minutes left to go. I think 4 is the magic number. There are 4 people that have yet to set a lap today, and they'll be looking to get out on track. Cliffy's out on track. He's going to start his lap this time by. D90, Sean, Sam, and Jor still need to set a lap time. Everyone else has set a lap, and it ranges from a 136 into the 139, actually 140s for a next. If I go to the fastest lap, yeah, 145. So that is his lap time for the time being. Going through the grid, like we said, Luis still on pole by 6/10. Really close between second and third. That is by 1,000th of a second. Most likely those times will change, and they probably will not last. But it'll be interesting to see how people end up in qualifying. And I think that right now is a good moment to go over the track facts like I usually do. So if I pull up the correct tab on Google Chrome, here we go. If I can pull up the correct tab, and I think, hold on a second, there you go, 2015, is that the 2015 version? Yes, here we go. The GP version, the 2015 version of the track, has 23 corners. Like you said, one of the longest tracks with the most corners. It is 5 kilometers long, or 3.1 miles. And the fastest lap race record is by Lewis Hamilton, a 1:45 flat that he set in a race lap record. So that would be the time that drivers are looking for, maybe to improve. But yeah, I'll be very interested to see how the times rack up here at this track.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be difficult to manage. You know, it's such a long race. You look, I said it earlier, you look up and you think you're almost done, and you find out you're only halfway through. But Lawrence is just about to start his lap in the Toro Rosso. Currently 12 drivers are still on to set a lap, so D90, Cliffy, Sam and Joe are the drivers not to set a lap. Tricky with strict corner cutting here as well, so they need to be careful to respect the track limits at all times during this qualifying session. There's a slow Renault there moving out the way of some of the drivers. He's going to move out the way of his teammate now. I believe that is the new guy. Yes, that is Wuma in currently 6th position, but we've got under 2 minutes left, a minute and a half. It's going to be so exciting, Alan, to see all these drivers have one last crack at this.
Yes, we are down to the final 1.5 minutes, and although 4 drivers on the bottom have still not set a lap time, like we said, D90, Cliffy, Sam, and Jor is still in the pits. I'm not sure. I think it wasn't a qualifying ban for him because he was really aggressive last week, and I'm not sure about any of the news. But yeah, like you said, Jor hasn't set a time as Robo Sophie has DNF from the session. Going through the grid, it is still 6 tenths between Luis and Sean with 1 minute remaining here in qualifying.
You're exactly right, Alan. Joe does have a qualifying ban, so unable to take part in this session. That's the reason he's the only driver in the pits. Everyone else is either on a flying lap or on an out lap. And 50 seconds left now. This is going to be a final showdown. Sophie retired from the session, so she's happy, or she doesn't have enough fuel, whatever. She won't be doing another lap. But here we go. We've got Louis currently on provisional pole position. What can the other pace setters do about it?
Here we go. 30 seconds left. 30 seconds left. I mean, there's a chance that Sean crosses the line. He doesn't have enough time. He may be able to do one more lap. He crosses the line with 20 seconds left to go, and he's only gained by 1/10. And it looks like he's going to go for one more lap, does he? No, he's slowing down. Sean is slowing down. That's his lap over. Yep, he can only go 5 tenths closer to Luis, and I mean, he only went a 10th closer, but he's 5 tenths behind, which is half of a second. Qualifying is now over. Beastaz is in the final sector here in Singapore. It's going to be very close as Black Mumbai squeezes in to P2. A good lap time. Barely squeezes out Sean off the front row. Beastaz in the final sector. A couple more corners to go. Hops over the corners. He's the man to look for. Here we go. Entering turns number 22 and 23. Flat out. Will he be able to do it? Crosses the line. Takes pole position by 3 tenths over Luis. And another heartbreak for Luis. That is caused by Beastaz.
He's still on the lap though. The Ferrari man's doing. The Ferrari looks brilliantly under these lights. And look, the scarlet red on it just looks fantastic. As you said, the lights in Singapore lighting up all the cars. What can the Ferrari do? Can he fight back and see if he can steal that pole position back off Beastaz? You still got Sean. No, sorry, we don't have Sean. I mean MLA to set a time. Cliffy's popped himself in the 5th. You've got Wummer down in 9th, just behind Lawrence. James Slater still on a lap time as well. So a few drivers to come across the line and give their mark. We'll ride on board with the Ferrari driver. Is Louis up? What can he do? 2 corners to go here. He's going to hold it as flat as he can through these final 2 corners. Goes a little bit wide. No.
1/10.
1/10. So I think he might be right there, Alan. That's really cost him. Cliffy's up in sector 1, I believe. So he's not going to have enough fuel to finish this race. So that's his session done. He did improve his sector 1. Kian, what can he do? He's from the podium tier. He's representing the boys tonight down there. What can he do? 11th place. So he'll start on fresh tyres. The best position outside the top 10 to start. And that's the session done, Alan.
Yep, that will do it here in Singapore. I mean, I feel like if Luis turned in a tad bit too, I mean, a little more earlier than he actually did, I think he would have gotten pole because not only did he run well, I think he had to slow down or else he would have gotten a track exceeding penalty invalidating his lap. So, I mean, off the final corner, turn number 23, you saw him kick out the back end and try and turn that car all the way left, causing him to spin it right before the line. That cost him a couple tenths. I think Luis was on a pole lap right there. But here's your top 10. It's Beastaz, Luis, Black Mumbai, Sean, Cliffy, MLA, Sam, Lawrence, Woma, and James Slater rounding out the top 10. Then it's Kian, Matt, Robo, Sophie, D90, and Neck, and Jor finishing out the grid. And maybe even SB O'Malley Kekik if he's able to join us tonight. Most likely, I think he'll take over any car. It's not going to be his car, but it's going to be a random car that the game gives him.
Oh, we've got rain.
Oh, we've got rain. This is interesting. So, imagine this. We tell drivers at Singapore, it's hard to pass out when it's dry. Okay, let's make the track wet now. That's going to be a little more interesting. But the drivers will have some grips in the track as we approach the formation lap. And it's going to be a very interesting one.
So the tyre advantage for anyone starting outside the top 10, of course, Alan, is nothing now if they do start on inters, but it is just light rain. So do you think this is interweather, or do you think they'll start on the computer, or want them to start the game I should say will want them to start on the dries, or how do you think this will play out?
I don't know. I mean, there's a chance. I think they'll put them on the intermediates. If they don't, I'll be shocked.
Yep.
But yeah, intermediate tires it is.
So good stuff. We'll just get confirmation of that for you. Yes, every driver starts on the intermediate tyre. Mali's in, so Mali will start in 17th place, Alan. You were correct saying he'll get to start the race, so that's good for him. He's usually in the McLaren, but now he's in the Toro Rosso, but at least he gets to race. So that's always good. 17 drivers now, Alan. It's going to be a good turnout for Singapore, and we've got 31 laps. We don't know the weather, but this is Singapore. Anything can happen.
Yes, and speaking about things happening, 3 people already disqualified from information lap. I don't know what happened. I don't know how. If they can't even keep it clean on the formation lap, I'm a little bit worried to see how this race will turn out. But like we said, we'll go through the grid very quickly. Beast he has a 29-point lead over MLA. He starts on pole today. Luis, he's lost so many times to Beast has. Remember the British Grand Prix, lost side by side to him, and now by pole he's lost by only a 10th to him. Back in 3rd place is Black Mumbai, still sitting on the grid in his Sauber. 4th is going to be Sean after the fantastic result last week of the Italian Grand Prix. Comes back and tries to get redemption after that. Cliffy is in 5th. He could have had a good finish. I believe he could have a good finish in Italy, but just didn't work out for him, so he looks to come back and try and retake his advantage and try and get a good one today, starting P5. Starting in row number 3. In 6th place is MLA. Closed the gap on BSAS last week, and he looks to do the same today, but it's going to be a little bit of a challenge. BSAS is on pole, MLA is 6th. Down in 7th again is Sam. I mean, it's not a good lap to sit in 7th place, so it's going to be one of the few drivers starting on the grid that was disqualified on the formation lap. Same with Lawrence again. Now we have the Renault, the Brazilian, his first race for Tom today, so he'll be looking to get a points-paying position just to start out his debut in F1 TSL. Down in 10th place is his Renault teammate James Slater. A very impressive qualifying for Wilma to out-qualify his teammate on F1 TSL debut. That's the start of a good future for him. Down in 11th place is our podium tier points leader right now is Kian, down in 11th place, so it's going to be his debut as well. Hopefully for the future, he'll be with us next season. 12th is Matt, again, the other Force India. We'll go down to the rest of the grid. It's Robo, Sophie again, out of the top 10, looks to get a top 10 today. Same with drivers like D90 and Anek. Jor, again, a qualifying ban, so you know he's going to be slicing through the field. The final driver is SBL Mali Kekik. Was not able to set a time in qualifying, mainly due to the fact that not able to connect in qualifying. So SBL Mali Kekik will start all the way in the back, trying to warm up his tires before he starts. And that is our grid for Season 10, Singapore Grand Prix, round number 14.
Yeah, just some drivers from the podium tier tuning in to wish their man Kian luck, representing them, of course, in today's race as a one-off. 17 drivers about to take the streets of Singapore. We have 31 laps. It's starting intermediate weather. Will it get drier? Will it get redder? Will it stay the same? We're about to find out, Alan. I'm pretty excited to figure out exactly what's going to happen. And this is going to be an absolute stunning race, I imagine.
Here we go, the 5 red lights up on our screen for round number 14 here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit, and we're green. And it looks to be a really good start from BSAS, already pulling away off the start. Luis, however, is going to try and look MLA, diving to the inside. He hits his teammate. Both the Mercedes have been shoved wide. What is that back there? That's not what they needed. They're going to rejoin the track and make it 3 wide with this huge train. I don't know what MLA was thinking. He just ran his teammate off the track. I mean, that did gain MLA position, but that really costed Sean and the whole team. Toto Wolff must be furious with that move. Look back in the pack again, side by side throughout the back field. And next, still back there, Jor, both the Red Bulls out of the points. Now again, trying to look, I'm trying to see any pass. There goes Matt underneath the Williams. Kian, he's under pressure, he's gotten shoved wide. And now all the Toro Rossos have squeezed on his outside. That's SVL Mali Kekik 3 wide. Not going to work for him. The gap closes, and there's been an incident behind him. Oh, they've been able to get away with that cleanly, but to be honest, not hitting the wall, not crashing, but they were on the very, very edge of it. I'm not sure how they were able to keep it clean. Again, I'm not sure what happened between the Mercedes teammates, because I most likely they're not partying. Luis has slammed the wall. Luis has slammed the wall. He's also back end. Now he's going to hold the Black Mumbai. Yep, wing damage for hitting his right front against the wall. That's really going to help Beastas pull away here.
Yeah, Alan, first of all, well done. You summarised everything there on that opening lap. You didn't miss any of the action. You caught it all. So well done to that. As you mentioned, they came close further down the field, but they all seemed to keep it clean without touching the wall. Maybe just a little bit of a wheel kiss, but nothing more than that. So we'll see who comes in at the end of this lap. If they do, we presume they have damage. You imagine Louis will be, he's made a habit of this, putting it on the front row, having a great qualifying session, and then just not doing so well in the race. But he'll be in for a pit stop and he'll be fighting back through the field. We'll see who else comes in. Sam up to 4th position. Sam up to 3rd now, obviously with the Ferrari coming in. But well done to him. Emile's in 4th. As you said, 2 Mercedes coming together at turn 1. It wasn't as bad as the Ferraris in real life, but it wasn't ideal, that's to say the least. So D90, both Ferraris are in the pits. We take it they're the only 2 with damage, and it's not been a very good day for Ferrari so far.
Well, at least they didn't collide, so that's good. But going through the field, Black Mumbai's in 2nd. Sam has been promoted to 3rd and getting chased down by MLA to try and retrieve that podium on the 2nd lap of this race. It's going to be a very long run. I mean, for time-wise, this race is usually long. Now we're going to do it in intermediate conditions. So this race is probably going to be one of the longest of the season, most likely. Time-wise, you can look back at Cliffy. He's holding up Sean. Oh, he's going to make him run wide. Sean has nearly missed the apex and lost a lot of time against Cliffy. Going through the field, SBL Mally Kekik and Kian going at it. And Kian is going to stay right back behind the Toro Rosso of Mally. And,
so difficult.
Through the corner.
It's so difficult, Alan. You know, if you haven't done any wet running, especially the opening lap with heavy fuel, to judge your braking points, figure out where the car is going to grip, where it's going to struggle on corner exit. As well as we see that is Matt, the Force India driver, struggling now with his car. He made a mistake, couldn't get it slowed down. Wing damage on the right hand side in these conditions, and a track like this, wing damage is not ideal. You'll surely have to come in. Oh, he's going to get close to the barrier again. And look at Mally, spectator qualifying, but he's already up 7 positions.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was really good. Slicing through the field. I mean, SBL Mally Kekik in 10th place, starting 17th. Oh no,
Cliffy.
Oh, what has gone here? Oh, that's MLA and Cliffy. Yes, MLA's been involved in that incident. Also, Cliffy. Oh, he must be furious with that one, as B says. Slams the door shut in their face at the fastest lap time, and now Black Mumbai does. Going through the field and trying to see who else is in this incident. Cliffy down to 14th. He's without a front wing. He slammed the wall there as James Slater, I think, ran him out in the final corner. He's got passed by Kian for 9th place. And that promotes SBL Mally Kekik up to 7th place. Wow, good job to him today. 3 laps up to 7th.
Yeah, fantastic. MLA seems to have got away with that without any damage. I didn't catch what happened, Alan. I'm not sure if you did. I just saw Cliffy spinning as I switched over. Sean obvious's got ahead of him. Perhaps that was something to do with it. But look at Lawrence as well in 5th position. That's the highest he's been running in the Pinnacle tier so far since he joined a few races ago. So it seems like some of the new guys are just picking their way through the field and slicing, as you say. And yeah, Black Mamba 2.3 behind Beastas. So can't believe it's only lap 3.
Yeah, very interesting, to say the least. Going to the field again. Jor is going to be pitting this lap as he exits. Cliffy, I think, pitting as well. Again, many drivers in the back that had incidents. MLA still 8th, believe it or not. Thought that was pretty interesting because he was involved in that big incident, so he didn't lose too many positions.
Yeah, the top 4, the only drivers to stop Alan. So that's the 2 Ferraris, Cliffy and Jor. So everyone else is on their way, keeping it clean, all on the intermediate tyres. I haven't really seen too much change in the weather conditions, so we'll just have to keep an eye on that and see whether that's something that's going to change later in the race. But Kian in 9th position. He's got James and Sophie all over the back of him, both within DRS, which of course isn't enabled in these conditions. But coming under the grandstand, Alan, and what do you think of Singapore? Do you think it's a track that definitely belongs on the F1 calendar?
I mean, I do, because there's a lot of other tracks that don't belong on it, and this track is ahead of it. But if I'd rated against all the other tracks in F1, I'd probably put it midway through there. I mean, yeah, it's a good track. I enjoy it, especially when they had the deadly, the Singapore sling. That was funny to watch. Not interesting for racing, but I thought it was pretty funny for entertainment-wise that they'd actually allow that to be on the track. I mean, I remember a couple of drivers got affected by it in 2008. It was Kimi Räikkönen. I'm trying to remember. There's a Sauber in 2010 that was involved with it also.
I think Suttil as well might have crashed in one of the early races they had.
And
Good
then
memory we got.
2010 in the Caterham. I remember on the closing stages it was against Alonso and Vettel. And the Caterham had a big fire and pulled up across on the side. I'm trying to think who that is. I should know, but hold on a second. Battle between SBL, Mali, Kekik, and Lawrence. Right now, their teammates, but at the end of this race, they won't. That's simply because, you know, he's not supposed to drive for Toro Rosso. So SBL, Mali, Kekik gets by his supposed teammate for just this race.
Very clean, though, Alan.
After start 17.
Gave each other just enough space. They did. They're very fair in their driving there. Now you've got MLA all over the back of Lawrence. So he was up to 5th, dropped down a couple places. I don't think he's made a mistake. I think this is just pace. Speaking of pace, the other Mercedes is chasing down Sam, who's currently in 3rd. Kian has left the session, so we can only presume that's a disconnection. His connection definitely hasn't improved since earlier, but he should be able to get back into his car, as 2 cars now go past him, and he drops down to 11th place. Matt will shortly be on his tail after that early incident. Mali's all over the back of Woma, so 5th position up for grabs between these two. Then you've got Lawrence and MLA close behind, and you've still got Sean, who's 2 tenths behind Sam as they come into the final 2 corners. Let's quickly run on board with Sean, see how much he can tuck his nose up behind this Force India, and tank slapper.
Oh. Got really close to him, but he's be able to pull down to the inside, wheel to wheel in turn number 1, and this time he clears him right before the corner. However's caught back and tries to fend off Sam to the position, as Sean is now standing on a podium. Keane, however, gets passed by Matt off the final corner in turn number 23. As you go back through the field, I think that's all the battle we'll see for a while. I mean, I'm going to look back with Robo Sophie and James Slater. They're pretty close to each other, battling for 2 points. Most likely going through the field. Again, there's SBL Mali taking down, trying to get by Woma. Both of them will be going at it for 10 race points. Woma will be trying to hang on, while SBL Mali starting from last will be trying to slide in, and now 10 race points as Cliffy sets a fast lap time of 1:57.2. So that's a good lap for him. Fastest time overall today within the first 5 laps. Woma right now still holding on. But to answer your question you had before, I was able to find the answer to it. In the Malaysian Grand Prix, or not the Malaysian, Singapore Grand Prix for 2010, it was Heikki Kovalainen that had his engine blow and pulled off to the side right as the end of the 2010 Singapore Grand Prix. I thought that was pretty interesting due to him crashing in the Singapore sling, I believe. But yeah, like you said, I do believe this is a good track, really good. As now SBL Malika kicked down to the inside of Woma, the gap is still there. Off the exit, though, Woma around the outside is able to find more grip and pull away. Woma still in P5.
Yeah, fantastic racing from all of these guys, putting on a good show, keeping it clean, and be interested to see what Cliffy can do. He's going to have a challenge on his hand, but you should never count yourself out in Singapore, because you just don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, yes.
Woma's at the wall.
Is that wing damage? Yes, right-hand side wing damage. He's going to be under huge pressure. There's 3 cars right behind, and yeah, this is going to be difficult for him. He'll have to come in, surely.
He's going to stay out, however, I think off the exit. Will SBL Mali kick it? Oh, he may prevail off the final corner. He may have tried putting something down to the inside. He's going to look. Will he do it? He's not committed. He's missed the apex as a Renault, so he's going to stay behind him. Hopefully try lunging something down to the inside at the exit of sector number 1. But, yeah, I mean, that is lap number 6 done for, or lap number 5 done for Woma. And all these guys now, it's starting to MLA. And MLA now trying to get by the Toro Rosso of Lawrence. And now it's another battle up here with the Renault trying to go to the inside. It'll be wheel to wheel. Now it's going to transfer back to the outside. Toro Rosso of SBL Mali Kekik. Oh, contact is made. Still wheel to wheel. Cliffy, another fast lap time. Now it's going to go back down to the inside for SBL. Will be able to clear him. And then the other Toro Rosso squeezes through of Lawrence. And MLA comes out of nowhere. And now he may try to put something down to the inside, and he does, but the gap closes between MLA and Lawrence. So that really just diminishes the momentum they had towards the Renault of Woma, who's in 6th place.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. The Toro Rosso of Mali and Wama gave each other just enough space. They didn't try and push each other wide on the exit of turn 7 over the curb. You know, he fought for a track side by side, and they both gave each other respect. So, well done to those two. We've got, yeah, this is an interesting battle. It's so close for so many laps, and it's more about mistakes perhaps than actual you know, pace helping them get past each other. But yellow flags in sector 2, I'm not sure what that's for. You've also got James under pressure from Sophie. Just to let you know, Kian is back in the session, all the way down to 14th place now, so he's going to struggle from there. But yeah, Louis up to 12th after his pit stop, 1.7 behind Matt, 1.4 now, and Cliffy is 3.1 behind Kian. So just to keep you updated with the guys who had incidents earlier in the race. But Alan's fantastic on-track battle for us. Look at these cars all the way down from 5th to 8th.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, I'm enjoying the racing. I'm really surprised to see. You see that Robo Sophie crash, right?
Yep, I didn't see it, but tell me what happened. She's in the wall.
Major game glitch. Once that wreck happened, all the grid order changed, and it said Robo Sophie was the leader. His car popped in the air and went head-on into the wall off turn number 22 and 23. That is interesting. I'm gonna save the replay for that. Hopefully you can. Yeah, I'll get that. I'll send that to you later on after the race. That was probably
awesome
one of the biggest crashes I've seen, like a single car incident. But
so, do we definitely think lag perhaps involved with that one?
Of course, yeah. That is definitely lag. Because as soon as the grid order on the left-hand side of the ticker changed, her car just, Robo Sophie's car just popped in the air. And, yeah, you don't usually see that in real life, first of all. Robo Sophie has left the session. So, yeah, not ideal, definitely. But we have our first retirement of the day. There's a lot of lag going on. I'm on board with MLA. I can see a lot of lag with Lawrence as well. But then again, every time I go on board with a driver, it has a low internet connection symbol, which is probably just me because, you know, I live on the other side of the pond. So it's ideal for me to have it. But yeah, lag shouldn't happen every race. I'm sort of shocked to see that incident. I've never seen a lag crash like that before. But as you go through the field, approaching lap number 7 or lap number 8 now, as Beastaz is now ghosting on my screen. I'm not sure if he's off the session or not. Okay, he was back in.
He's okay on mine.
Yep, gap between Beastaz and Black Mumbai is 2.5 seconds. Lap number 8 upon us.
Yeah, been exciting so far. Unlucky to lose Sophie there. Seemed a freak incident, as you mentioned. I wish we would have caught that one on board, but I'll look forward to seeing exactly what happened. MLA struggling to get past Lawrence here. Currently down in 8th position, so that incident earlier with Cliffy, which again we just caught the end of, has really harming his race. And that Mercedes looks to be struggling a little bit behind that Toro Rosso to find the grit. But look down the order, you've got Kian and Cliffy battling with Enik right in front of them. So let's see what these two guys who do have perhaps a little bit of a pace advantage. Is Kian going to sling it down the inside, riding on board with Cliffy from behind? Kian does go down the inside. Enik gives him plenty of room. Cliffy gets a penalty for cutting the curb there. Thinks about going down the inside turn 2. A bit of a half-hearted maneuver there, but manages to keep going as we head down to turn 5 now. This is Etiquette goes wide. Cliffy's going to get the cutback, and that's job done. And he's going to be chasing down Kian now.
Yes, that will be on his little platter for dinner tonight, just trying to get by Kian. Probably a little side course, obviously, to his main dish. Main dish contains getting points. Right now it's just, trying to get by Kian. So at the moment, he's going to try and get the better exit off the corner. Maybe try putting something down to the inside at the end of this main straight once he gets to the final corner. Difference is Cliffy hits the apex. We'll see if he can do so. I don't think he'll be able to put the move on. It looks to the inside once, decides it's better if he does not. And again, he may try something off this corner, cuts it a little too much. And the bridge section right here in the tiny little bridge, may put something to the inside on board. Thinks better of it once more. I mean, honestly, I think that's really a good place to pass. I mean, just carry momentum forward, just go full throttle and aim your car to the inside. I mean, yeah, that's sort of a dive bomb, but I mean, it works out for a lot of people. But now Cliffy looking to the inside once more, and Now he's easy to try to pass everywhere, and the entrance he gets towards the corner doesn't help his exit either. So Kean is now starting to pull away, with Cliffy trying to pass every single corner.
Mally goes into takes turn 1, and he takes 4th position off of Sam. So from starting 17th, Alan, he's got all the way up to 4th now. He went wheel to wheel. They were absolutely touching wheels, all 4 aligned as they entered turn 1. Both kept it clean, both gave each other room. Fantastic attacking driving, fantastic defending, and now Sam is under attack from Wummer, who hasn't come in for his wing damage, but seems to be settling into the car with perhaps a little bit of understeer and just braking early, getting the car turned in a little bit earlier, and yeah, fantastic racing from him to try and hang this on. Alan, do you think it'll be a one-stop with these intermediate tyres?
Most likely, yes. I mean, it depends on a driver's standpoint on how you push the car or not, but most likely, I expect it to be a one-stop even in the dry conditions. But with these tires, I don't know. I've never really done a full intermediate race here at this track, but hey, I will point something out. It stopped raining. I'm not sure if either one of us noticed, but it stopped raining. And Lawrence, never mind, D90's on the soft tires. And I still see a lot of spray, so I don't think it's time.
He's coming to the pits as Kean
is spun.
Yeah, D90's just coming out, and we'll quickly ride on board with him in a second and just see if we can see the spray on his car. But yeah, look, it does seem to be. I can't see any raindrops now on the screen, so he's struggling though. Oh, he needs to get those tyres up to temperature. Speedster sets the fastest lap of the race. It's definitely going to become dry tyre weather as D90 is really struggling. Maybe another couple laps perhaps, Alan.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of odd. I mean, it stopped raining, the track is almost dry, and then there's Beastas setting the fast lap time. That's really odd. Because, I mean, it just seems like Beastas is getting better and better as we go on, despite the worsening conditions at this track. But, and that's just Beastas for you, as Wilmot gets by Sam. Wheel to wheel will be able to clear before turn 1, and he does. Just barely, however. May try something to the inside, and he's going to put the car there. Down to the inside, a little beating and banging. MLA is a witness of this. He's going to try and get by, but he's going to stay right behind. Still wheel to wheel to force Indy on the Renault. However, will MLA take advantage of this? He's going to try and take advantage of one car now, wheel to wheel. And MLA is, nope, he's going to wait back there. But yeah, Wilma back in P5, Sam in P6. And right now he's going to stay right there. It's a 3-car train as Jor, 3-second penalty. As Matt and Cliffy are in the pits. And they'll be fitting on some slick tires while Matt fixes his front wing.
Yeah, so they're coming in. They obviously feel it's time. I have noticed today that perhaps MLA is struggling a little bit with his braking. I haven't really seen him sling too many moves down the inside. Perhaps he's got the championship in one mind whilst he's racing, but perhaps he seems a bit tentative on the brakes as Kean's race goes from bad to worse. He gets speeding in the pit lane, so that's pretty much counted most of his hopes of a good result for today. Cliffy's onto the soft tyres, so you think he's going to go to the end. Matt's chosen the supers. That'll be difficult to take those all the way, so we're looking for another stop for him, and we'll keep an eye on these times. If these drivers start lighting up the sectors and a fastest lap pops up, then we know it's time. But BSAS has a little bit of a margin to figure out exactly what he wants to do and when he wants to pit. Louis, meanwhile, is up to 10th position from his incident at the start, as MLA actually goes wide there and has to cut the corner, as we're seeing Sam, and Sam's really struggling now. He's got no front wing, so something's happened with Sam. He's got no front wings, just crashed his car, and Lawrence is going to try and go around the outside. And yeah, Alan, he'll need to come in, and perhaps good time to pit some dries.
Yeah, most likely. I see everyone else going in. DRS is now enabled, and B-Saz is still out there. Black Mumbai, Sean is really struggling on board Woma and SBL Malikekit. This is really going to help SBL Malikekit. The first of the lead pack cars are in and not even held up in the pits. I think he's going to try and go to the end on those soft tires. What'd you think about that?
Yeah, I think you can take the soft tyres to the end of the race. I think they will do exactly this amount of laps, maybe even about 22, something like that, 20. So I think you'll be able to take the tyres to the end. So if you fit the softs now, this should be your last stop. If you fit the supers like MLA had, perhaps one more stop for a set of ultras, but you just don't know, Alan. Perhaps MLA's got good tyre wear or something, and he can make these last. I believe that the supers can last about 16, 17 laps, so it's going to be a push on these, but no one's selecting the ultras so far.
Yeah, I mean, no one's selecting the Ultras because they can't go 21 laps at this track. They just can't. I mean, for the Super Softs, with the improved traction, or not the traction, the
Oh, what's
improved
happened to
tire
Sam?
wear. Oh, actually, Matt, 3-second penalty.
Oh, Matt.
With go to the field. Car ghosting, yeah, Sam is
Retired, I thought it came, it said.
I think it disconnected because he's ghosting at the moment. Let's look at the top 5. They're still in the intermediates. D90 fastest lap time on those soft tires. He's in P14 with that fastest lap time. And now B-Saz is in the pits. So is Black Mumbai. Trying to slow it down. Hopefully no penalty. Easily into the pits. He lost around 2 seconds or so just for his entrance into the pits. He was really cautious on that one. Oh, the Williams crew, they've been held up. Oh, that's going to cost Beastaz some time, but he's already away. No, but that's actually... Okay, no, Beastaz was ahead of that Williams holdup, so never mind, it didn't really affect him. But Beastaz is on the super soft tires.
The other Williams, Alan, just held up Black Mamba from exiting the pits because he was coming by, so the Williams of Kean helping Beastaz there gained another couple seconds through those pit stops, so he'll be thanking Kean perhaps for that later on. After tonight, but look at this, it's all going to be supers or softs to the end. You've only got Jor on the ultras according to my graphics, and it looks like everyone's now come into the pits, and after that, Alan, perhaps we'll try and run through it and figure out exactly who's where and who's going to be battling for what position.
Yeah, I mean, hold on a second. Yellow in sector 1, and I don't think that's anyone. Again, I think it's just a yellow for Sam, because he's still not in the session. Again, yellow in sector 1. I'm just hoping it's not Sam, because that's just ruining the passing. Because every time you get near Sam, you can't really pass him because the yellow comes out in the sector he's in. But yeah, like we were saying, Beast has Black Mumbai 7.5 seconds. Lawrence finally gets by Sam. It took him long enough, and Sam has been gone for a couple minutes, and believe it or not, he's still in the points. I think that's pretty funny. As we go through the field, yeah, like I said, the Beast has gap between him and Black Mumbai is 7.5 seconds. Then it's SB O'Malley Kekik in 3rd place, gaining many spots under pitting just a lap early. Found the sweet spot of when to pit. He's on the soft tires looking to go to the end, same with Black Mumbai. However, Beast feels a need to go on the super soft tires and believes that he can finish the race on those tires. I'll be honest. I'll agree with him. I mean, the time that you pit from, I mean, there are ultra softs too, so I mean, maybe ultra softs to super softs, I don't know. That I know, you can easily go to the end on softs. Maybe even super softs. You pitted a lap later than a lot of people did, so that's probably the reason why. Also, I'm not sure if those are used tires in qualifying. I'm not sure as MLA puts up a 3-second penalty. But like we were saying, I'm not sure if those are used tires in qualifying for the people in the super softs. Do you think that might be the case?
No, I think you start with the race with a brand new set of softs and a brand new set of supers, no matter what strategy you select in terms of aggressiveness. But just quickly, Sam's back in his car. So you mentioned he's still in the points. He's in 10th position. He's actually now closing back down on Lawrence, who overtook him for 9th. So we've got Cliffy all over the back of Matt as we come into the final 2 quarters. Louis recovered up to 8th position so far. So we'll see how far he can take his performance today in his fight back. But what can Cliffy do into turn 1? Thinks better of it. Comes through turn 1 and 2. Here we go. And through turn 3, he's going to follow him, perhaps line him up for the straight. Yeah, I think that's his best maneuver. But yeah, I think you're right, Alan. The Super Softs will go to the end of this race.
Yeah, most likely they will. I'm not sure what George's trying. I think George is trying to set up a fastest lap time. Most likely he's gonna have to pit one more time. He's already in 16th. Most likely what he's thinking is just go for the fastest lap. That's the only credential or anything you can get out of this race right now. So it'll be very interesting to see how he does. But 13 laps in, we are headed to lap number 14 as Beast has a 3-second penalty. The gap between him and Black Mumbai. I feel like he does a lot better in the dry conditions because now the gap is 9.2 seconds. He's gained a second per lap, a little bit more than that for Beast as we approach lap number 14. We are 2 laps away from the halfway mark here in the Singapore Grand Prix. Black Mumbai picks up a 3-second penalty, so now their times equal. Interesting to see there. But like I said, Espion Ali Kekik in 3rd place. Sean, a 3-second penalty. 4th is MLA. 5th is Sean. MLA fastest lap time. Sean fastest lap time. What about James Slater? Will he do it? No, he does not. What about Who am I? No. Lawrence, nothing. So again, I think it was good. Both lap times really good for the Mercedes, and then both of them picked up penalties that lap, so I'm not sure it really should count.
Yeah, Alan, Cliffy's still trying. He's followed Matt this entire lap, nose to tail. He's got to get this job done because it's costing him so much time. DRS is going to be open. He's got such a good run on him here. We've got a helicopter view, switching over to a view into turn one, pulls to the inside, just doesn't have enough straight line speed. So perhaps a wet setup was something that the Haas driver went for, but he's struggling to get past that. Force India will follow him down the main straight through turn 5 and 6. DRS, of course, will again be available. 2 DRS zones here at Singapore. The other Force India is next up, so if they're running similar setups, then Cliffy's going to have a job to then get into the point scoring position. He comes down the inside into turn 7. Matt turns in, just enough room there. Contact, no, yeah, contact, and the Force India driver has to do a 360, and I'm not sure who was to blame there, but I don't know if Cliffy got damage, but Matt definitely has damage on the right side of his wing. He's now down in 12th position.
Now, I'm not sure what exactly happened. I mean, I do know what happened, but I'm not sure what happened with the car on the outside. I mean, it was just a tad bit tiny, the tiniest smidge of a tap you can imagine against the side pod, and that allowed Matt to spin all the way around. I mean, if anyone has to put the blame, I'd probably most likely put on Cliffy. I mean, yeah, he hit the apex, but the exit, I mean, he was almost against the curbing. So really, I think there could have been more room given, but with this new game, you tap a side pod and the guy ends up spinning. I think they overdid it this year compared to last season where you hit someone's side pod and you're the only car that ends up goes spinning. But I mean, that's F1 2017 in a nutshell for you right there. But that really just goes to show how this how the game really works. But on board now with BSAS, the gap is 11.2 seconds. Now I'm going to do a little prediction. We're around halfway through. What do you think the gap will be between first and second come towards the end of this race?
I think it's going to be quite big, but it'll be interesting with penalties as well, Alan, whether that has any effect on the finishing results. But look at Mali. He's doing a fantastic job up there in 3rd place. As we see Louis just get past, no, they're battling side by side, going back and forth. We'll switch over to that. I was just side by side as they come through the... Oh, what a move for the Ferrari. Does touch the barrier. Did that give him damage? It looks like he does have end plate damage from that. So a little tap with the barrier helped him get the position, but it's cost him a little bit of performance on that Ferrari, if that is the case, and he does have wing damage. But I didn't see this, Alan. I don't know if you did, but somehow MLA seems to have got past his teammate through that round of stops. Whether that was anything to do with, you know, being on the track, where the position of where they pitted, and whether one just had to do more time in the wet when perhaps it wasn't so wet. I don't know, but yeah, MLA now up to 4th position, so he's having a good recovery as well, and he's closing in nicely on Mali.
Yeah, most likely between, hold on a second, Cliffy's out, Cliffy's out.
He spinned it. Where is that, Alan? After the bridge? Yeah, that's after the bridge, before that straight. So he's come across, looks like he's struggled with the braking, and perhaps he's hit the inside wall or something, but whatever's happened, he is out of this race. The Haas driver of Cliffy out, and he'll be having an early bath tonight.
Yeah, not gonna lie, that looks self-inflicted just the way that's angled. I mean, there's a huge indent on the barrier back there, and plus he's so far out. I mean, if you
safety car,
look on board with Cliffy, yep, safety car, that changes everything. So I just jinxed the question between these tabs. I was like, what's the gap gonna be at the end of this thing? Now, it's going to go back to 0. He's going to have to redo it all over again. Yeah, like I was saying, I honestly think that was self-inflicted for Cliffy. I mean, he was so far off the track, it'd be literally impossible to do that either from a lockup or a spin. Even if he spun, most likely, I don't think he would have gone that far. And if he just locked up and went head-on into the wall, he would have lost his left tire, not his right tire. So most likely, that was self-inflicted.
Yeah, which of course, Alan, you know, shouldn't get into it. Singapore, we shouldn't. That happened in, I think it was 2008, the first race with Nelson Piquet. So at any time, you shouldn't be crashing your car on purpose. If you want to retire, just go into the pits and just call it a day. So what's BSAS doing? BSAS is coming into the pits, Alan. He's got a 16-second lead, and perhaps he just feels that he might as well take a new set of boots. Is Black Mamba going to stay out? If he does, he's surely going to get the lead of this race. He's staying out. Black Mamba's staying out. He's going to get the lead. And BSAS will come out in 2nd place, I believe,
Let's have a quick, yeah, there's still, he's just left the pit, so Black Mamba goes through, and this just spice things up a tad.
Yeah,
Mali's in,
definitely.
MLA's moved up.
That's really the only way Black Mumbai can win. I mean, Beast puts on a new set of super soft tires. He's back in 3rd place. MLA comes out in front on super soft tires he's already used in this race. So, really looking good for these drivers. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge for Beast to try and slice through 2 positions to win this thing. But really, if I were Black Mumbai, I mean, I'd stay out. I mean, that's really the only way you have a chance is hopefully MLA and Beast I mean, this is now good for MLA. He's now decreased the championship lead by a couple points if, you know, where they're running right now. But yeah, like we were saying, it's going to be really close between these drivers, and Beast needs to pass 2 drivers to take the race lead unless Black Mumbai pits once more. But yeah, he's one of the few drivers left at this race on the soft tires. So, a little bit of a disadvantage for Black Mumbai. Do you think he'll be able to hang it off till the end?
Yeah, he's going to be close. Those soft tyres out, they do go on a while on this game. The soft tyres, any track time that I've done, I do like running on the soft tyres because they just don't seem to go off. They seem to last forever and perhaps even get quicker as the fuel goes down. So we've got a right mixture. We've either got supers or soft. And perhaps we should, when they all catch the safety car, Alan, we'll just run down the order to give everyone an idea of exactly who's where, and we'll also let them know what tyres they're on as D90 now comes into the pits. But this is throwing things up a little bit. Look who's 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, like our rivals are going to be battling each other. I mean, not at the point that you also have a Mercedes behind Beast has, so not a crunchy, not a beautiful sandwich to have, but a Mercedes or Silver Arrow sandwich. I don't think they serve that at any restaurants. The reason why, really expensive to have. Not gonna lie. And in the middle with the meat, you have Beast has. So a very interesting combo to have here, especially with the 2 championship protagonists in this season, with MLA and Beast has in 2nd and 3rd, and with a little help, you know, your little wingman that MLA has, Sean, is in 4th place. Hopefully they're going to set aside the differences they had earlier this season, or earlier this race, and, you know, help each other.
Yeah, definitely. So it'll be interesting to see what exactly happens. But yeah, the safety car, they're all catching him up, and this is going to be interesting. We're gonna basically reset button. We've got 15 drivers still left in this race. They'll all be able to catch up, we hope, and then we're gonna go racing again. So Alan, you'll have to be able to commentate, and I want you to catch all the action again like you did on the first lap.
Oh, of course, that's what I'm here to do. Especially with you sick, I don't expect you doing it by yourself. Yeah, but like, going through the field, I mean, you've done a fantastic job today. It doesn't really sound any different, which is really good. Before the race, however, it sounded really different. Luckily you're doing really well, Key, and a 5-second penalty, a severe collision with Sam. That is interesting. Sam is in 7th. I don't see anything. Oh, has he been disqualified? Or no, he's dropped back. I think he's he's a lap car.
He's a lap car, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why
all these guys are bunching up here.
Yeah, Keaton getting very close to the Renault that's in front of him, but a bit of front wing there. And it would be interesting, Alan, as you said, we're at the corner where Cliffy crashed, and you know, was it done on purpose? Wasn't it done on purpose? I guess there's only, you know, unless anyone was near him on the track, there's only one way to find out.
Yes, another 5-second penalty for Kean. Oh my look, this is probably the nightmare debut race he had in mind for F1 TSM. Not the way he imagined it to work out for him, but I think the safety car will be either coming in this lap or the next lap on board. I think we're in the 3rd sector, so it'll be one more lap. So, you know, while we have a little downtime, Nick, what has been your favorite moment from Singapore?
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, this safety car has really made it interesting. But I did enjoy that battle, which I think was 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th at one point in the early part of the race, where they were just nose to tail for lap after lap after lap. So that was really fun to watch and see who was able to, you know, slice their way through. But look at Mali, still in 6th position from 17th. So for me, so far, he'd get my vote for driver of the day. But Alan, there's a lot of laps left to run, and when you're starting from such a a scratch position in terms of all being bunched up behind the safety car. Just anything can happen.
Anything can happen here. And going to be very interesting to see how this race comes out in the last couple of laps. The most likely safety car will be coming in this time by, and that will mean we'll be racing with 12 laps to go as the Red Bull is able to pass the safety car, that is Jor. He's going to try and race it back and get his lap back. Hold on a second, let me go to the leader. It says he's 2 minutes. Yeah, he's on the lead lap, which is some good news. So yeah, that I think, yeah, for Kean is out of the race, by the way. I'm not sure if we missed that or not. We didn't say anything about it, but yeah, Jor is 2 minutes behind, so he's really gonna be pushing this lap. If I were him, I'd just cut that chicane if you're Jor. I mean, you're under safety car. You need to catch the guys in front. Might as well just slice your way through the field by cutting every corner under safety car. I mean, you're not gonna get a penalty for it. Plus, you're running in last. That's what I'd recommend if I were a driver. If you're under safety car and you really need to catch up to someone, just cut the corners. No one's watching. That's my recommendation. But speaking of recommendations, if you were B-Sounds, what would you do? Would you try and fling at MLA first, or would you be patient, do something down the straight, and wait for Black Mamba to attack?
Oh, Alan, it's going to be a tough one. It's kind of more of the moment thing, and you're just going to have to decide what you want to do. You know, when it feels right. Obviously, he's on the slower tire and old tires, so MLA pitted will quickly run through. Actually, who has stopped again? So MLA hasn't stopped. Sorry. So Beast has stopped again. Mally stopped again. Louis stopped again, and then I'm not sure further down whether they'd already completed 2 stops or not. But regardless, we're about to start again as we come under the grandstands, and this reminds me of last time we had a safety car here and caused absolute controversy where 2 teammates, one of them backed the rest of the field up whilst the other drove off into the distance at the restart. But none of that happening tonight, and here we are as they exit the third to last corner. Alan, I'll let you take it away. This is going to be absolutely fascinating.
Yep, here we go. We're racing again here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit, and we're green. Really good start for Black Mumbai. Oh, run wide as B-Sounds, but he's still with an MLA for the position. Wheel to wheel between the Toro Rosso, SBM Ali Kekik. He's on fire today as he gets by the Renault of James Slater. However, a 5-second stop-go penalty for ignoring the yellow flag. Oh, I'm not sure what happened there. I think he just got by a tad bit too early, but that'll be looked back by the race stewards if he has some footage. Going through the back and the rest of the field, it's pretty clean throughout. Black Mumbai still has a lead by around half of a second. However, Beast has underneath, around the outside. Can he do an MLA? He's going to run him off the track. He's run him off. And he's got the inside with the cap. Oh, he bangs through. He's made through. Oh, that is. Oh, now SPM Ali Kekik is going to have a chance now to try and pass as MLA. Oh, I feel. Oh, that's terrible for him. I'm not sure. Man, he was under threat for that one. Most likely, I mean, PSAS is still in a safe position for this championship. He just forced his way through. I mean, that's not the first time we've seen that out of B-Stats, but that's not really recommended out of Street Circuit.
Yeah, that's a tough one to call. I only caught the end of it. Well, I was riding on board with B-Stats as he slung it down the inside. It was kind of a do-or-die move. It was kind of, you turn in, we're both going into the barrier. And I think B-Stats was lucky to get his car stopped in time. Anyway, Louis moves up to 5th position, so what a recovery from him. I did say, don't switch off. Anything can happen at Singapore, and that is exactly what is happening. Black Mumbai leads by just under a second as now Joel has gone into the pits and called it a day, so he's obviously felt enough's enough. Black Mumbai leads this race. You've got Mally up into 3rd position again, so he wants that podium position today, and my goodness does he deserve it. Yellow flags in sector 1, we presume for Jor, as we're seeing Louis all over the back of MLA now. Sam's up to 6th position, so he's having a good race. Just is Wumba going to come in the inside? Nope, thinks better of it, and just... We've got James and Lawrence going very close side by side through turn 3, and now Lawrence is all over the back of James Slater. Matt's in 10th position. Sean's down in 11th. So what happened to Sean, Ellen?
I honestly don't know. I mean, he started within the front as now Woma still side by side with the Force India of Sam. However, clears him throughout the corner, but around the outside, Woma still there. He'll the inside this time. Diving it down to the inside, he hits the Force India, almost against a barrier, and here comes James Slater, still side by side. Now the other Renault's going to have a go at the Force India, and now a better exit for James Slater. He may try putting something down to the inside. Will he do it? backs out and thinks better of it. As you go back, yeah, Sean in what was it, 11th place. And, oh God, I don't know what happened with my, I completely do not know. Because I wasn't really on board with him or spectating. However, I see a couple broken end plates where Sean is right now. I'm not sure if it was Sean or not, or cut many others. I think, hold on a second, Beast has between, Beast is spinning! Beast is spinning! Oh,
cuts across the track. Ghosts, luckily, he's got wing damage. The whole left side of his wing's gone, and just loses a little bit more. What happened there? Was that something that perhaps was tried on Black? We were trying to figure out what happened with Sean, and we ended up missing what happened with BSAS. So apologies, guys, that we missed that. But BSAS is going to have to come into the pits now. What has happened? We said anything can happen at Singapore. DRS is enabled again, and my goodness, Alan, this has turned tables on the heads. He had such a comfortable lead. He struggles to come into the pits. He'll be absolutely furious with that. Was that a mistake, or was that another drive? Look at all the drivers within DRS. Absolutely ridiculous to try and figure out and commentate on all of these guys at once. We're going to do our best though. Sean will be trying to move up now into some more point scoring position. Here comes MLA versus Louis, side by side through turn 6 on the straight. MLA's going to have the inside. Is he going to feel comfortable on the brakes? I mentioned earlier he didn't look it. Louis hangs around the outside. They both go wide. Bisas left the session. Bisas has come into the pits and he's quit out. He's had enough. He is not happy with that. Whatever's happened to him. Black Mamba looks set to take his win. Look at Mally from 17th on the grid. I know I'm shouting, but I'm just excited, Alan.
I'm pointing something out even more interesting. I know the gap between Black Mamba and SBO Malikekic is increasing, but we are at a chance. We may see, for the first time ever in F1 TS Hub, if something happens to Black Mumbai, we may see the last of first challenge completed. That would be shocking to see from SBL Malikekic. I know he's under pressure from Luis, but there's still a chance. There is still a chance it may happen. Though the gap is still increasing, we might need one more mistake from Black Mumbai and really good defensive skills from SBL Malikekic, but I mean, regardless, this has been one of the best races he's ever produced in F1 TS Sub, and it will not go overshadowed if he does not win today.
Yeah, Alan, as you mentioned, the highest gaining position to a win was China in Season 9, which I won, actually. So I think I started 12th or 13th on the grid, so that's the lowest anyone's won from in terms of position-wise. As Louis gets ahead of him, so it's going to make that more difficult for Malik to beat that record today. But Black Mamba leads now by 3.3. Can Louis chase him down? Do you remember what happened? He spun from second place. He was in last place, and look at this. Maybe he's going to win it from, you know, being down in last and coming back through the field. But 3.1 the gap on the quicker tyres. Still plenty of laps to go. Mali's just behind, few tenths. Then you've got MLA 1.1 struggling a little bit. Perhaps, as I mentioned, he's struggling on the brakes a little bit here. You got Wimmer in 5th position on his debut, so he's doing a brilliant job there. Sam's in 6th. Good. He's had 3 DNFs in a row. He needs this strong result today. James is in 7th. Lawrence is close behind in the DRS zone in 8th position. Sean's in 9th. Matt's in 10th. D90 is close behind Matt in 11th. Close, I say too close, side by side as they come through. They're going to go side by side, give each other room, boys. They do just that, brilliant. And D90's into the points. Matt's down to 11th, Enekit's in 12th. BSAS, as we mentioned, retired, is in 13th place. Joel, Kian, Cliffy and Sophie all failed to finish the race.
I mean, it's a bummer for those 4 drivers. I mean, they probably would have had some good races from the debut of Kian in the F1 tier, and hopefully a points bank position for Clippy. It just was not meant to be. But Black Mumbai is now getting reeled in by Luis. Imagine the scenes if those two collide together. I mean, the gap between SBL, Malikekic, and MLA, I mean, it's starting to decrease between the two. It is around a second or so. But yeah, the gap between Black Mumbai and Luis is starting to diminish many tenths every single lap. It's going to be a question to see who will win. Will it be Black Mumbai or Luis? We will see. We're less than 10 laps away from the end of this race.
Yeah, very exciting stuff, Alan, and been an absolute commentator's dream to commentate on what a spectacle this race has been. But yeah, you've got James Slater being hounded by Lawrence, who seems to be attacking and defending throughout. He's going to walk away from this one needing a coffee or something a bit stronger, because every time I've ridden on board with him, he's got a car in front or a car behind. so at least he'll be enjoying it, to say the least. But yeah, as you mentioned, that gap's coming down, 1.6 now. Can Louis win this race? He spun from second place, I believe, on the second lap. He was down in last, or the first lap it was, he was down in last, came into the pits with his teammate, and now look, second place, chasing down Black Mamba. You can't take anything away from this. He's had a brilliant race as well. Wimmer is in 5th position on his debut, chasing down MLA, and look at Mally, still there in 3rd place, Alan.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, looking through the field, it's going to be really close between, it is now 1.3 seconds. Black Mamba between Luis. The gap is diminishing lap after lap, and now Luis has a good and clear image of the Sauber driver. But I will point out, remember, Black Mamba has a 3-second penalty. I'm not sure about Luis. We will find out come towards the end of this race. 25 out of 31. I think it's 7 laps to go. 7 laps to go here in Singapore. And we're on for a good finish.
Yeah, definitely the finish is going to be absolutely amazing. Lap 25 out of 31, and Louis is in DRS already. Is he going to be able to get this done? It just depends perhaps on how much straight line speed, because if Black Mamba's got good straight line speed set up, it's going to find difficult for Louis to try and get through. But you've also got Mally, who's under attack from MLA and Wumba. And the other, look at Lawrence, is just behind James. Surely he's going to have a crack now. He's on the outside heading into turn 7, heavy braking zone, and no, can't get the job done. Both give each other room. He's now on the outside, James is on the inside. They're going to go side by side. Are they going to be able to do it around this corner? Just about. My goodness, that was close to the barrier. And Lawrence is going to have the inside. James just taps the wall. Yeah, cuts. I think he warranted enough room there, and because of the camber of that corner, you do just drift out. And perhaps that was a good pass, but fantastic racing from Lawrence. And there we go.
Lead change, Luis and Black Mamba. They're still going at it, wheel to wheel. He's got to try and shove him into the wall. It's really close between these drivers. A bang wheel is going to do it around the outside once more. Oh, he's going to close the gap. And Luis, oh, he had too much on his plate for that one. He's going to have another go at
wing
Black
damage.
Mamba. Really try holding him up.
Wing damage for Louis.
Yeah, it's really going to hurt him here. Black Mumbai, he's going to have to fend off the fighting bull of Luis, despite him being at a Ferrari, disclaimer. But yeah, Luis is really going to try and put something up on the board now. Yeah, the gap has really increased now, but yeah, I think he's going to at least try.
Oh, look behind Alan.
Corner or so.
3 about to go into turn 1.
Yeah, Walma's really on a charge. Oh, MLA trying to close the gap. Still trying to get as many points as possible. This is huge for the championship. Remember, he's in 13th. The gap between the points in 1st and 2nd is 29. MLA needs all he can, so that's why he is fighting fiercely here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit. It's going to be a really good finish, and I know that we are in tune for a good finish here in Singapore. Trying to put down something to the inside. Wilma thinks better of it. Yeah, SBL Mally Tekik. Imagine if Black Mamba and Luis come together. Mally Tekik pulls off the first challenge. MLA reels in Beast has. The scenes of that would be hilarious to see, but also really good for those drivers. But again, the lead has closed up to around half a second. Do you think he'll try putting on one more move?
I definitely think so. And do you know what? I think that Louis has just seen Black Mamba's basically said to him, hey look, I'm winning this race. If you want to come by, you need to make sure you give it everything, because I'm not giving up this lead with everything that I've got. And Louis is going to think about that next time he tries to go for a pass, because they were very close, and Black Mamba was very, very defensive with his driving, and why not? You know, this is the lead of the Singapore Grand Prix, round 14, season 10, as Louis gets close to the wall there again, and the gap's up to 6 tenths now, so this will be interesting. You've got the battle behind for the other podium positions. Oh, DRS, DRS, DRS. So this will be interesting to see exactly what can happen with that. But Alan, what's your predictions for the podium?
I'm not exactly sure. I think SBL Mally Tekik, he'll get demoted down to 4th place maybe. Again, I feel like MLA will get a podium, and I feel like Luis, I'm not sure about Luis. It's an iffy statement, because again, the gap is staying around half a second to 7 tenths. You just can't pull it off now with that wing damage. But also do bear in mind there are some lap cars up ahead, so that may play a factor in this race. Actually, that Beast has his left this session, so that's not going to matter. Never mind. But yeah, like I was saying, the gap could eventually close between Black Mamba and Luis, but we will see. Lap number 27 out of 31. We're coming to the final stage of this race.
Yeah, fantastic. Lots of comments on the live stream, so thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We race every Friday night, the podium tier at 7 PM, the Pinnacle tier at 9 PM, and you can check us out on Twitter with live race updates and driver of the day votes after the races as well, at F1 TS Hub. If you fancy joining, we've got a waiting list at the moment. I think we've got about 9 drivers on it, but you can head over to www.f1tshub.com and check that out. We are lap 27 of 31. This is Singapore. It never lets us down as we're seeing. What's that? Louis spin it.
Luis,
what's happened?
Luis is in the wall. I honestly don't know. I looked away from my screen for a second, and all I see is onboard Luis in the wall. Oh, he must be fuming with that result. SB O'Malley Kekik in a second, and I don't think it involved Black Mumbai because no front wing did nothing for him. So that's really gonna hurt him. That's really gonna hurt Luis, obviously, but that does promote MLA into the podium as Woma sliding to the inside. Remember, this is his debut, and he might even get a podium on it. That would be really interesting to see. Now I'll be excited to see the end of this race. Again, SB O'Malley Kekik trying to break up the slipstream from MLA down the straight once more. DRS back up and enabled. And closed again for MLA. He's going to have to put a move on Malley here. I don't think he'll be able to do it this time.
Needs to be careful though with the Renault behind.
Yep.
Yellow flag still in sector 3. Is that going to affect where they can get the pass done? But all over the back of 6.7 seconds now the lead. So the Black Mumbai looks set to win this race. He just needs to keep it clean. And this is going to be a full 25 points for him, and only his second race at F1 TS Hub. So well done to him if he's able to pull that off. But MLA just really struggling to try and get past. Eniket's retired now from the race, so he's the latest driver. He's binned it coming into the long straight, turn 5, got too far on the outside, understeered into the outside wall, lost the rear left. So we are down to 10 drivers now. Beastas is still running, but of course he's left the session. And it won't be joining back in, I don't believe. Unhappy with some perhaps connection issues. But here we go. This battle's up and down the top 10 sixth positions. Look at Lawrence all over the back of Sam. But MLA, can he do it? It's so close between these three for second, third, and fourth.
Trying to break up the slipstream once more for second place is SBL. I know we can't be biased here, but imagine the last first challenge for SBL. Oh, that'd be fantastic for him. I'd love to see that. At the same time, an upset victory for Black Mamba. Again, it'd be really good for the Salvador driver to end up winning today. That'd be really good. I keep saying really good a lot, but I mean, yeah, it would really work out for him. A good result for him in second place, SBL Mally Kekik. Third is MLA, and fourth is Loma. One driver out of these three drivers in second, third, and fourth will not get a podium. And right now, Loma is fighting desperately to stand on the podium on his debut here in Singapore. I mean, we have 3 laps to go, and I think it's going to get really intense. We just got to hope nothing happens to Black Mumbai, and they'll be able to sail in on the victory here at the Marina Bay Street Circuit.
Yeah, can't wait to see exactly what's going to happen, Alan. As you mentioned, a lot of positions up for grabs here. I imagine they want the podium. Oh, Loma gets a little bit of a tank slapper there. But these guys have been following each other line of stern, and just said earlier in the earlier stream, Alan, it is hard to take here. These guys are proving exactly that.
It's going to be really interesting to see the end of this race. Gap between first and second is around 8 seconds or so, reaching just about, and Mally hanging on, trying to hold off MLA and Woma back here. I feel like Woma cuts the corner a lot off in the third sector again. Yep, there you go, 3-second penalty. I knew that was coming.
You called
it, Alan. That's not really going to help his case. Yep, I called it there. I was on board with him. I was really good. That's what he was doing. But we approach 2 laps to go. And again, trying to break up the slipstream of MLA. 3-second penalty for Sean. I think in the same place, believe it or not. But again, MLA, he's going to try something down to the inside. Not going to do it. And let's point out so many bad things have happened to Luis this season. We thought he was going to be able to win today after he gained on him. I felt happy for him. Was that he was able to win finally, and as D90 fixed the penalty. And then, because in qualifying, we're talking about that remember the British Grand Prix, again, got beat out the last lap. I felt miserable for him. And then for qualifying, got beat up by a 10th. It doesn't really work out for him. And today, he had a chance at a win, and it just went away. And it fell out of his own hands as Sam and Lawrence going at it. He's been into the wall. Lawrence is into the wall, and James Slater's up to 6th. Yeah, a broken end plate for the Toro Rosso. It's not going to help his last 2 laps. It's his left end plate that is gone or missing. And, yeah, again, Malley trying to hang on. The gap is around 9 seconds now. All Black Mumbai needs to do is just pull this car around the track for 1.5 more times en route to victory here in Singapore. It's going to be a good day for the Sauber team, but hopefully it works out just well for them as we approach the final sector. It's going to be the final lap in Singapore. I forgot. I'm not sure if any drivers inside the top 4 have a penalty. I know Black Mumbai has a 3-second penalty.
I believe MLA does as well.
Yeah, I know MLA and Roma just collected one, believe it or not, as well. A couple laps ago, like I said. We were on board with him when he picked it up. Final lap here in Singapore. SBL, he's going to try and put up the rich revs, and he's going to try and hold on to this thing. MLA, he's going to be really aggressive. Holds on to the inside. Oh, he's going to put him. Oh, whoa, hang on to the back end. Wheel to wheel. He put the bumper on it. Now he's going to try and go around the outside, but SBL, Malik, oh, he's getting out of the inside. They're going to be wheel to wheel off the corner. And this is what Wilma wants to see. SPL doesn't really know either one of them have penalties, so they're acting like this is really a battle for the podium. Oh, the gap closes MLA. He's spun behind him. The gap is now almost 11 seconds between first and second. And Malley is hanging on. He's coping with the pressure incredibly here in Singapore. It's really working out for him. And I'm really happy to see that he's hanging on. However, we look at it with the race lead, Black Mumbai, still hanging on, doing everything he can to take victory today.
Who's going to finish second, Alan, as they come over the bridge. As I mentioned, I don't know if you noticed it, Alan, MLA just doesn't seem comfortable on the brakes into that heavy braking zone after the long straight. And it's cost him a position again there with Wumba. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll hear from him after the race in the race reports. But yellow flags. Lawrence has retired. He's binned it. Oh, that's such a shame. Just after the bridge, he was having such a good race. So we're going to be down to 10 people, drivers finishing the race. Let's take nothing away from Black Mamba. He's going to come across the line, final 2 corners, and he wins in his second race at F1 TSL. Brilliant drive for the Sauber driver. Malley started 17th on the grid. The fireworks are going off now. Can he hold Wumba off? He can. Wumba's going to get a good exit, but doesn't matter. Malley takes second, Wumba takes third, loses it to MLA because of the penalty though, but a stunning drive for his debut race as well. And Sam, 3 DNFs, look at him, he's back in the top 5, fantastic race for him. And James Slater actually just spun it just before he got to the finish line, but he managed to cross it in 6th. He actually takes 5th ahead of Sam because of penalties. Sean jumps into 7th, so you've just got D90 who scores 8th. And if you remember, Alan, he was with his teammate in the last couple places on the first lap. So well done to him. Matt's coming across the line. He's going to take 9th. And I'm not sure whether Bisas will actually get the 10th point or whether Lawrence will get it or not.
Yeah, I mean, really impressive race. This one will go down in the history books for a long time. 17th to 2nd. Second race in F1 TSL win. And MLA closer to the points lead. The gap between him and Bisas is now 14 points after today's Singapore Grand Prix. Your winner is Black Mumbai.
Fantastic stuff. Champagne for these 3 boys under the lights of Singapore. I'm sure there'll be plenty of partying after this race as well. But Friday night, of course, this is F1 TS Hub. Another stellar race. We're hearing that there was some drivers who... Whoa, look at those penalties. There was some drivers who had some issues with the connection, which might have caused their crashes. Bisas, Louis, and Cliffy. But I'm not sure that whether that's host-related or the issues we had with the PSN earlier. But Alan, I'll let you quickly run through this order as quick as you can.
Here we go with 16 seconds. It is Black Mamba, SBM Mali Kekek, and Malay Wumi, or Woma, James Slater, Sam, Sean D90, Matt Lawrence, Felipe Massa, and X Sebastian Vettel, Max Verstappen, Lance Stroll, Romain Grosjean, Pascal Wehrlein. Rounding up the grid, I don't know those drivers.
Lots of penalties as well. Yeah. Wow. So lots of drivers, lots of penalties, but there you have it, Alan. Driver of the Day votes will be on for both tiers later on, either tonight or tomorrow morning at F1 TS Hub. So make sure you head over and give us a vote on who you think deserves to be crowned driver of today. But rain in both, and fantastic racing in both the podium and Pinnacle tier. Alan, last thoughts?
I'm really interested to see next week the Malaysian Grand Prix. Yeah, that's really about it. A really good race. It was a long one. Despite the rain, we saw a lot of racing. So make sure to tune in next week for the Malaysian Grand Prix live on this channel. Last words, Nick, and I think we'll finish it up.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. Thanks for joining us. As always, everyone, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And looking forward to next week already. And yeah, hopefully we get more of this.